I didn't so much find Bufo as it found me. I was in a dark place in my life. I was struggling with my relationship. I was struggling with being a new father. Work issues, things weren't working out. I was depressed, and it got to the point where I felt like I really needed to change. Something needed to change. Something needed to give. So that's when I had the opportunity to take the medicine, and I took the medicine, and I felt like at that moment that nothing was ever going to be the same again in my life, and that was a good thing. Actually, that was what I wanted, but it was really only just the beginning. I didn't want to walk away from that experience and have it just be an experience. I was committed to actually following through with the reason why I went in the first place, and that was because I knew that at a core level, my life needed to change, I needed to change. And that meant that I needed a path, I needed a process, a way to integrate the powerful experience I had, the inexplainable. I needed a way to actually have that carry over to the rest of my life and not just be a memory or be something in my mind that I can't describe or explain. I know it would always be with me, but I didn't know what to do with that. And that's when my facilitator recommended that I go to an integration specialist. And I went to David and met him and explained that I had this experience and this is how it felt. And I was very honest and open about what was going on with my life. And I was at that place where I was not ashamed, I was not embarrassed. I just wanted to get better. I wanted to experience who I was for real, finally. I wanted to make that journey from out of my head into my heart. And I didn't know how to do that. And I didn't know what that felt like and what I had to do. And the Bufo sort of stirred that, but didn't really tell me what to do after that, didn't show me what to do. There was forums, and I went to participated in the forums with other people who had that experience and shared, and that was great, but it didn't really give any guidance, and I knew that I needed more. So when I spoke with David, he let me know that this was just the start, and I agreed. I said, yes, this is just the start, and I'm prepared to do whatever I need to do, and I'm open, and I'm trusting, and that's how it started. So what I started to learn was that the first step really is to stir up the programming, stir up all the things from the past, the things that sort of we construct our ego around, and that needed to be purged. There's a purging that comes first before you can grow, and David helped me with that. He recommended a binaural beats program called HoloSync, which sort of helps. The way he described it was, it's like the garbage man. It takes out the garbage for you. It makes you uncomfortable because it's stirring things up, and that's the first step. And you have to be able to deal with that, and you have to accept that your life is going to change pretty soon, very quickly, and not in great ways, because if it was going to be great, then you wouldn't need any of this. So I went through a period where the purging process was very uncomfortable, and I thought that it was just causing more problems. And at first, the instinct is to stop, but I was committed. And by talking to David every week, he was supportive, and that's what you need. I couldn't imagine just doing these medicines and being on my own, because it's scary and it's hard to find meaning, and you need people to talk to. You need people with experience. You need people who are coming from that place of light, who genuinely in their heart have been there and have helped people and know deep down what to do, how to guide. So after the purging process, there's more. I said, I want more, David. I'm committed. I need more. And that's when we started integrating positive affirmations and positive self-talk, the way you talk to yourself, your thoughts that you have, how important that is, and how that really makes up your reality. So I was very conscious of starting a routine, being vigilant about the way I speak to myself, the way I think, not to judge myself and not to be a victim, to take responsibility. And I started meditating. David encouraged me to just be still with my thoughts and with myself, and that's what helps make that journey to the heart. It gives you that opportunity that gap where instead of acting all the time, you have the opportunity to, instead of reacting, you have that opportunity to pause and say, is this how I want to act? And little things, and David said in the beginning, it was just be conscious of the little things, notice the little things, because the changes are not going to be huge. It is a process. And so I started, after a little while, noticing little things. I was more patient with my son. I had more intimacy with my wife. Things were getting better, but slowly, and there were still plenty of issues. And even months into this, it's not all good, and there is trying times and challenging times, but speaking to David every week, speaking to that integration specialist, that person who is there to support you, that you can tell the bad things and also tell the good things through this process of incorporating the positive affirmations, the meditation, the holosync, the purging. I've been able to get to the point where little things, when I'm putting things out in the world, I'm focusing on positivity, I'm focusing on what I want, getting to what feels right, tapping into the passion, and I've noticed changes. Things with work that I couldn't explain, things that come out of nowhere that are starting to happen, things with my family, experiences I have with my wife, closeness, just starting to happen. And I'll tell David that I have a hard time believing it, but I'm open still, always. And that's important. And that's the journey that I'm on. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is if you do this medicine, to follow up and to create a path, a process, tangible things that you can do, and have someone to talk to constantly to keep you on that path, and to be surrounded by positive energy and positive influences, because without it, you just kind of fall back into the same patterns. And I think if you get to the point where you do the medicine, Bufo, ayahuasca, where you are really seeking that, you should stay with that truth and follow through, because it's not just something that is a one-time deal or recreational. And for me, it has now opened my eyes to a new way of seeing myself, seeing the world, and that's what I needed. I couldn't imagine continuing on the way I was. I couldn't imagine sinking any deeper and finding myself in a place where it was too dark to come back. And I'm just thankful and grateful that I got out of that place when I did, and got on the right path and sought help from the right people. And it's made all the difference in the world for me, for my family, and I am eternally grateful for finding that guidance and being in the place that I am now. And thank you, David, for being there for me, and thank you for being a part of the light.